On today's episode of the Cryptoverse, CoinDesk partners with the Brave browser to give you faster, safer, ad-free browsing. And I give you a demo. Dash is the privacy-focused digital currency that offers transactions with instant confirmations. Its unique decentralized decision-making and self-funding system make it an ideal choice as a stable and secure digital cash. Click the link in the video description to learn more. Hi there guys, and welcome to the latest episode of the Cryptoverse, your regular dose of news and commentary on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. I'm your host, Chris Coney. So let's begin with the market roundup. As ever, we turn to coinmarketcap.com for the cryptocurrency prices to look at the biggest winner and the biggest loser of the day. When we say the day, today is the 26th of December, so I didn't do an episode yesterday, so we're looking at the prices in the last 24 hours between Christmas Day and Boxing Day. The biggest winner is another coin I've never heard of that's just jumped into the top 20. Xenix coin. Excuse me if I'm absolutely murdering the name of that. It's Xenix, which I read as Xenix coin. And it's jumped 54.5% in the last 24 hours, bringing it to $9.51 per Xenix coin. And its abbreviation is ZEN, Zen. Interesting. Yes, I've never heard of it, so if you know anything about this coin, please let me know. I had a quick scan of their website, but they sort of sell themselves as a digital currency, which it's not very obvious how they are different to, Bitcoin and all the other digital currencies. So that's bad for me as a marketeer, because you need like an elevator pitch. You need like a two-liner that clearly states the difference that you are going for, So, and you shouldn't have to require a lot of in-depth analysis for people to grasp what it is and why it matters, right? Which is why when you go to Cryptoversity, there are 3 questions on the homepage. It says, why does Cryptoversity exist? How is it different? And what does it actually do? Those are the only 3 questions you need to answer. And they're right on the homepage of Cryptoversity. In the defense of the industry, though, if the one thing that's lacking in the crypto space, it's good marketeers. So that's a big hole that needs to be filled to help us get mass adoption. Anyway, the biggest loser of the day is MadeSafe coin. It's shaved 4.8% of its value in the last 24 hours, putting a MadeSafe coin down at, well, let's call it 10 cents a token, putting MadeSafe at the 8th position in most capitalized coin. So here we are on Bitcoin Wisdom, looking at the Bitcoin price chart here. If I just zoom in to the last 4 days here, we can see yesterday, this is interesting to see what happened on Christmas Day. Because with Bitcoin, the markets do truly trade 24/7 because the market is decentralized. There's exchanges all over the place. Having said that, the chart I look at is specifically Bitstamp's pricing. However, due to arbitrage and things like that, it pretty much keeps the price in check across all the exchanges. Now, yesterday, there's this great big hammer. I would definitely say this is a hammer pattern. A, because it looks like a hammer, and B, that's technically what it's called. So the price went down all the way to, what was the low yesterday? $859 dead, and then was rejected by the end of the day and finished at $890. It's very interesting that, looking at the volume, which is down at the bottom here, I'm surprised at how much volume there was yesterday. 5,000 odd Bitcoins were traded. You see, that's the thing. That is the thing. With Bitcoin, the market isn't dominated by Western Christian countries or anything like that. So when us lot who are Christmas oriented are having the day off, the rest of the world carries on trading, right? Which is a beautiful thing. So anyway, we looked at that $920 mark back on the 23rd. It dropped a bit the following day there. But again, you see this rejection of the low. The long tails on these candles, that's showing good support, good buying power to keep the price up. And then today, actually slightly the other way around, where what's the point it's stopped at there? 905. It's that same point we got stuck at the other day. 905 was, I think this is the high of the day, $905.18. And volume's a little bit low today, but of course it's still forming right now. So we're sort of bounding around the range, I guess you could call the new range, $900 to $920. That's sort of the ceiling and the floor that we're playing with now. It's only based on 4 days worth of trading, but we'll see how we get on. In terms of the news today, I'm kind of going to do it in reverse. I'm actually going to do it more as a demo than anything. So check this out. There's a web page on Brave's website. You know, the other day I did a rant episode about advertising, content creators, and how we need to get paid and all that kind of stuff. Well, I talked about the Brave browser, and specifically I talked about the tipping service that's built into Brave. You know, Brave has a Bitcoin wallet built into it. You fund that wallet, and then as you browse around content on the web, Brave distributes that to all of those content creators. So then there's this official announcement here between CoinDesk and Brave, and it says CoinDesk boldly decided to end intrusive third-party ads to support their decision and their excellent content. Just use Brave when visiting. So I'm actually going to do this right now. Okay, go through the whole process. So step one, here I have my Brave browser, which I've just brought up on screen. I've updated it to the latest version, and there's this nice little feature it's got now. When you open a new tab, it's got all these stats that tell you, like on mine, I haven't used the Brave browser a lot yet. So it says things like 563 trackers have been blocked, 46 ads have been blocked, 1,051 web addresses have been upgraded from non-secure to fully secure and encrypted ones. Now, that's quite a clever feature. I'm not going to go into that right now, but it forces HTTPS upgrades on sites that don't use SSL certificates. Never mind that. And then it says here, time saved 31 seconds. On the Brave homepage, it actually talks about, it's surprising how fast a web page loads when you don't load all the extraneous scripts and all this sort of stuff, right? For tracking ads and loading ads and all this sort of stuff. Because all the ads are extra images, right? And I had a bit of a rant the other day saying that these ads are necessary, which they are necessary, because what is necessary is that content creators get paid somehow. That's kind of the point. That's the crux of the matter. Where that comes from is anyone's guess. So I made 2 points in that episode. One point was about blocking ads and expecting content creators to somehow live off of crumbs or live off no income whatsoever. And the second one was the value of advertising in terms of bringing things into your awareness that can solve your problems, right? So that point still stands, but those are two separate points. Today, all I'm going to show you is the tipping system in Brave, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Brave settings here, and I'm going to go to payments. And here I have Brave payments, which it says it's in beta. I've got it turned on. And at the moment, it says my account balance is 0. And you can set this monthly budget, $5, $10, $15, $20. So I'll stick this $5 monthly budget in there. And then I can add funds. So I can either add $5 or I can add $10, right? And it's only going to spend it at the rate of my budget. So I click add funds and it says, how do I want to fund it? I can fund it by buying Bitcoin from Qubits. I can use an existing wallet address, which is what I'm going to do, or use your smartphone to fund the, point at the QR code and so on. There's also a Coinbase icon down here. So I'm going to just copy the Brave wallet address to the clipboard here because the Brave browser has a Bitcoin wallet built into it, right? And then if I bring up my other window again, I'll open up my blockchain.info wallet. So inside the old Bitcoin wallet here, I'll just go send, paste that in there. And what I always do when I paste the Bitcoin address, I just look at the first 3 and the last 3 characters to make sure that I am sending it to the right place. So the last 3 characters on this address, QKG, yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to I'll send £10 to this wallet, and then I'll give it a description, funding Brave, tipping wallet. Click next, and it's going to be a 10 pence transaction fee. Oh my goodness. So £10 and 10p, send. And there it goes. Let's go back to Brave and see what happens now. So straight away the status has changed in the Brave browser. It says pending funds, $12.31. And newly added funds may take 30 minutes to appear. So, every different Bitcoin service decides what their what level of risk they are comfortable with, right? So in this case, it looks like Brave has chosen to wait 3 10-minute confirmations on the Bitcoin network before it will allow you to use those funds. That's fine, you know. I bought something on Steam yesterday with Bitcoin, and they only need 1 confirmation. So you just wait the 10 minutes and that's it. It works. The game shows up in your Steam account. Now, literally, while I was sat here talking to you about that, this banner has come up at the top of Brave saying, "Good news, Brave will pay your favorite publishers in less than 24 hours. And then you can review your chosen sites, which at the moment I don't have any. So that's going to be the next bit that we do. So we don't have to wait for that confirmation before I start browsing, right? It only needs to confirm in order to pay out my favorite publishers. So I'm going to close the preferences out, and I'm going to go to CoinDesk now. The key thing here, if you are a content creator, is you must display a Bitcoin address on the page, right? It's not, you can still get paid from Brave if you don't have that there. It's just that it causes Brave to have to contact the publishers and say, look, certain people have tipped you with a bunch of Bitcoin. Please open a Bitcoin wallet so you can receive it. Do you remember the early days of PayPal, for example? I could still have a PayPal account. You might not have a PayPal account, but I could email money to you with PayPal. And then PayPal would send you an email saying, Chris Coney has sent you $50. Please open a PayPal account in order to claim it. Do you know what I mean? Right. So this is kind of how the Brave system is going to work if you browse 3 or 4 different news sites that don't even know what Bitcoin is, right? Same thing's going to happen. Brave's going to contact them and say, look, you've got $100 worth of Bitcoin sat here from people who have tipped you. Would you please open up a Bitcoin wallet, or at least download the Brave browser and then collect it or something, right? It makes it easier, though, if you display a Bitcoin address QR code on the page, like I can see right here. So what I'm going to do next is simulate what we would do, which is click onto a news story, and Brave's going to be logging all this, all the URLs that I visit, so we can see how much content I'm consuming. So I'll just click through a few pages, click through a few articles, got a few pop-ups coming up there. So look at this. Yeah, so CoinDesk has got this QR code on every single page, and right below the QR code is a button where it says download the Brave browser, and they're saying why they're doing that, right? And even if you don't have Brave, if you want to manually tip CoinDesk, well, you just shoot this QR code with your mobile app and job's a good one. However, you don't need to with Brave. Like it says here, you can do this automatically with Brave. So I'll do one more page and then I'll have a look at the log inside the Brave browser preferences so you can see what's happened as a result of all this browsing. I'm back on the Brave payments page in my browser preferences. And now I've got a website that's come up in the list that says CoinDesk, and it says, do you want to include this in your tipping round? And you can turn them on or off. So individual sites you can choose to turn on or off and see if they want to get a share of those payouts that have been funded in my wallet. And it logs things like this, is like the number of times you've viewed the site, the amount of time you've spent on there and so on. And that'll help you, and a percentage of the overall. So that'll help you determine how much of your tipping you want to give to any given content creator. One key thing, if you test this yourself, is to click on the Advanced Settings tab, because there are 2 other settings you can change here that will determine whether any site comes up in that list or not. So the first one is, what's the minimum amount of time that you have to spend on a web page for Brave to take notice of it? And by default, that's down at 5 seconds. And then the second setting is, what's the minimum number of visits to any given website for Brave to consider that for a payout? And at the moment, by default, that's set on 5 visits. And you can change either of those things, right? And that's all I need to do. It's already logged the fact that I've visited CoinDesk. And at the moment, because I've got only one site in this list, and it accounts for 100% of my browsing with Brave, during the next pay run, CoinDesk is going to get all that $5 budget. The reason I like this as opposed to any other sort of tipping plugin is it's completely effortless. You just fund the wallet, go about browsing, and Brave takes care of all of the distribution to the content creators. So a few people commented on my episode the other day that said they might turn off their ad blockers when they're visiting content creators they want to support, right? Well, you could do that by having, say, 2 web browsers. You could have Google Chrome and you could have Brave, and then when you watch the Cryptoverse or go to CoinDesk or whatever, you could load up the Brave browser for that purpose. And then you'd only be spending your Brave budget on those content creators. One answer I don't have yet is what happens if you watch an episode of the Cryptoverse on YouTube, and even though at the end I display a screenshot with my Bitcoin address on it, or say when I post an episode on Steemit, and again I include the Bitcoin address as a QR code in the post, how does Brave know to tip me? Is it going to show youtube.com as the site that is the content creator? Is it going to show steemit.com as the content creator? Or is it going to show those sites, but in reality actually pay my Bitcoin address? That's something I need to look into. So if you have any information on that, please let me know and I'll report on it. So thanks for joining me today, guys. If you like this episode, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. Please leave me a comment below with some feedback and get subscribed. And please support the Cryptoverse and boost cryptocurrency adoption by going to cryptoversity.com/podcast and becoming a patron. From as little as $10 a month, you can secure Cryptoversity's future, get unlimited access to all Cryptoversity courses, and get a private patrons-only chat group where you get direct access to me. That's all for today, guys. I will be back tomorrow with another episode of the Cryptoverse. And until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.